These steps are modern because the old one under this one, but because it became very slidey, they did these wooden steps to protect the people. So this is the shaft that I told you about it. It's pure Egyptian feature.
Good.
Is it? Here. Come closer to see the shaft. So as I told you that the shaft is pure Egyptian, and this is because the ancient Egyptians believed that the bodies were falling down from the shaft by using ropes, okay? Down into the end of the shaft. You can see here an opening. This opening, come closer to see it. You got it? Down there. Yeah? Okay. All of you see it? Okay. So this opening will lead us to the other opening here. You can see here, so the dead man was taken from that shaft, the first one, from the opening to the second shaft here, from the other opening to the third one, and then finally to the main imperial chamber where the sarcophagi is. Okay? So let's go down to go to the imperial chamber. Before I would like to tell you. Yeah, by yours. Yeah, no, just.
That was how I imagined it.
Oh my God. This is the punishment. So let me tell you about this room. This room called the triclinium room, okay? And this is the place where the relatives and the friends of the dead man used to gather in. So in the feasts, the family or the friends used to gather here, and they ate a lot of food during their festival. They thought that they will celebrate with the dead man because they believed in the afterlife or the resurrection. So they feel that he will feed with them. Okay? So they ate a lot of food, and before leaving, they used to break all the dishes they ate in, because they thought that if they bring these dishes with them in their houses, it will bring the bad luck with their houses too. Okay? So they left all the dishes here. While discovering this place, we found a lot of broken dishes in the mound. Okay? So the name in Arabic, Kom El Shoqafa, came from this point, because the broken dishes, this is Shoqafa in Arabic. Broken dishes, Shoqafa. Okay? And the Kom, this is like a mound of hell. So the mound of broken dishes. This is Kom El Shoqafa.
Kom El Shoqafa. Okay.
So this is let me go to the second floor.
Second floor? I thought we went down the tree.
The end of the opening that I told you, so the tunnel, they will take the dead man from here to the main imperial chamber, okay? So this is the end of the opening there in the shaft, the first and second shaft, and then this is the end. So the dead man will pass from here, but not directly to the main imperial chamber, because there is something very amazing here in this tomb, that everything here cut in rocks, everything carved. So even the sarcophagi, it's one piece. There is no opening to open and put the dead man. So how do you put the dead man inside the sarcophagus? Dead man will pass from here. So here the place where he will bury. So how do you put the dead man inside it? What do you think? No. No. So from this room first, okay? From the back of the main burial chamber. Let's go together to see it. So from the back of the burial chamber, they will put the dead man and then they close the wall again. Okay? So as I told you about the combination between the cultures that I told you, there is here the combination in the sarcophagi, which in Greek Roman, and the depiction is pure Egyptian. This is the mummification scene. So here you can see the dead man is laying over the funeral pit, which pure Egyptian because of the symbol of lion, okay? And here you can see the god Anubis. Anubis was the god of mummification in ancient Egypt. If you know that, the Egyptians used to connect with their gods with a certain animal. So each god representing with an animal, okay? And this is to take the power for the people and so on. So the jackal animal was the border of the cemetery. So in this shape, the god Anubis representing with jackal, and he is holding the Nile of water of Nile to purify the dead man before the mummification scene. Okay. Under the bed here you can see 1, 2, 3 canopic jars. They were originally 4. 4 representing the 4 sons of the god Horus, the god of protection. The god Horus there representing with the falcon head and crowned with the double crown. Okay, so the 4 sons for the god Horus. So and these 3. The 4th one replaced with the feet of the god Anubis. Okay, so in this scene, the 4th one supposed to be on the back of the feet. Okay, so they use it to put everything or the viscera of the dead man, everything inside the stomach, inside these canopic jars to preserve them. So in the afterlife, he will return back again to the life. So he have to find everything in God condition. Okay, so they put everything except the heart. We have here the feather of the god's might, the feather of justice and truth and faithful. So in the afterlife, they will do something like the judgment, a final judgment for the dead man. So they put the feather of the god's might against the heart of the dead man. Because of that, they didn't put it in the canopic jars. Okay. So if the feather heavier than the heart, that means he was a good man in his life, and in this case, he will go to the heaven. He will meet Osiris and will tell him, I didn't lie, I didn't steal, I didn't do anything bad. So we'll go to the heaven in this case. But if the contrary happened and the heart heavier than the feather, that means he was a bad man in his life and he will not go to the heaven. Okay? In this case, his heart will be eaten with an animal called will eat his heart. Okay? And without heart, there is no another life. Okay? So here we have the goddess Ibis, Tehuti with the ibis head, which was the goddess of wisdom and writing, and she wrote everything happened in the mummification scene. We have here another scene, the same one reflects here. Okay? So let me tell you about this one. This scene reflects the religion in the Ptolemaic dynasty. So after the invasion of Alexander the Great, started a new dynasty called the Ptolemaic dynasty. Okay, in this time, the Ptolemaic rulers they noticed that there are different nations, the native Egyptian and the Greeks. So they decided to gather both of them in just under one cause. And the best thing to do that was the religion. Okay, so they took from the ancient Egyptian, the main god at that time was the god Ptah, representing with a peaceful, and they took from the Greek Zeus, the god of the heaven, and they told the people like a moth. They told them that a peaceful died and rose to the sky, and then he met the god Zeus, the god of the heaven in the sky, then became one cult, one god together. Okay, so they became serapis. Serapis became the new cult which combined between the Egyptian and the Greek in the Ptolemaic dynasty. The Egyptians worshipped and kept to worship their god Serapis in the shape of animal, as you see, a peaceful. But for the Greeks, it wasn't acceptable for them to worship an animal, so they worshipped the same god Serapis, but in a human shape. Okay? So the new cult, it was like a Toriad. The main god of the Toriad was Serapis, which crowned with the Egyptian sun disk, and his wife Isis, the goddess of love and motherhood and magic. So, and their son, the third one, Horus, the god of protection. So this theme reflected their religion in the Ptolemaic dynasty, with the pharaoh here made an offering specially for the god Serapis. Here in the